Night of the Nerdy Laser podcast. I am your host, as always, Richard, aka at Nerdy Laser on Twitter and Instagram. And below me is Jeff. Hello, Jeff.
Hello, Richard.
It's aka at Nerdy Laser.
Oh, yeah, sorry. AKA.
um, and with us is Corissa Grant, as you can see by the no headline, just display name we've got there. Corissa is from, she's a creator and writer of a comic book series that we thought that we needed to tell you all about. I've read a little bit of the first issue, and it's really cool. But Corissa Grant, Worthy Chaos and Redemption is the name of the comic. But we'll be talking about all sorts of things. So welcome to the show, Corissa.
Thank you for having me. This is great. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. I kind of met you through Bride of FrankenCon, where you were there for just a little bit, and then unfortunately things happened, but it was cool to have you for a little bit, and wanted to help get the word out about your stuff because you're starting a Kickstarter.
Yes.
As of today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't there very long, unfortunately. I got food poisoning and that did not go well.
I don't think I don't know where you ate, but I don't think you're
Chick-fil-A. It wasn't there.
Well, but it's funny because a few people weren't feeling good, and we don't know what happened. So maybe everybody ate from Chick-fil-A. Yeah,
I don't know because my husband ate it too, and he didn't get sick. But I mean, I was instantaneous. Like, yeah, I was back and forth to the bathroom. It was not good. The only thing I'm happy about is that it was after I met James O'Barr. So because I was like, he was the whole. I was so excited to see him. I told him it took me 30 years to get this. The Crow graphic novel signed, and he's like, well, I'm glad I didn't die on you. I was like, me too.
James is an awesome guy. I got to hang out with him a lot, actually, and I'm really grateful for that opportunity. He's really cool.
He's very nice.
Yeah, he's very nice. He did a lot for us, and I appreciate him a lot.
And he took a copy of my book, so I don't know if he's going to read it, but now in the back of my mind, I can think that he's going to read it, and that's like all I need to know to make life complete, so I'm good.
He does do a lot of shows, so he might have some downtime, so I'd say he'll probably read it. I wonder how many he gets at shows, sometimes. But
it was actually by accident. I was going to have him sign like the copy, and he's like, is this for me? And I was like, yeah.
Like, sure is.
Yeah, it is now.
So I guess give us a little bit of background about yourself before we get into Worthy Chaos. Like, did you grow up like, are you specifically like horror or that in that genre, or what is your background like?
So I pretty much started as a role player. After I had played Resident Evil 2, I kind of got obsessed with it, and I learned about role playing online, where you write stories to each other. So I actually role played as Claire Redfield for 15 years. Yeah. And during that time, I had an idea for a story about an angelic weapon and about a girl that was made from it. And I kept a hold of that idea for 11 years. And even though I RP with a lot of amazing writers, for some reason, all of them wanted it. And I just was like, no, I'm waiting for somebody. And I don't know who I was waiting for. But the day after my co-writer added me on roleplayer.me, I asked her if she wanted the role. And she's like, I don't usually take roles, but yeah, I do. So I sent her a starter. It was like 4,000 words. And she wrote back to it. And we wrote constantly daily for 2 years, and we wrote 11 novels together, length wise, and we're still writing. I sent her 15,000 words last week for a chapter, and we just we're 5,000 words away from 1 million words written for this story. So that'll and that'll probably be like one half of a chapter. So I'll probably do that tomorrow, just so I could say I wrote 1 million words.
So are these originally novels?
So what it was is that when we wrote back and forth each other, I just saved every single reply we ever wrote, and all of a sudden I was like, do you know we have the length of 11 novels? Because she's like, we what? I was like, yeah, an average novel on the shelf is between 70 and 100,000 words, and these are between 90 and 130,000 words. And we had 11 of them, and 5 of them is this series one. And then 1 is the prequel, and the 5 is the spinoff. So we just finished the end of the spinoff, and I just my 15,000 words pretty much went to chapter 1 of series 2. So we're still writing. We're incredibly obsessed with it. So we're not going to slow down anytime soon, hopefully. So, but it equals to, for series 1, it's pretty much about 45 issues. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So now it's just getting them drawn and printed and all that.
Yeah, we started about 7 months ago, and we're releasing today the issue 5.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and the thing that makes our story a little bit unique is the story is written. Each character is written by 2 different people. So I wrote the angel descendant Seraphina. I wrote all her thoughts and actions and her speech, and my co-writer wrote everything for Draven. So you have these 2 completely different personalities because me and her are completely different. Like, my character talks a lot like I do and doesn't think as much as I could. And Draven, the demon descendant, he thinks more. Like, you can see he's got a lot of thought bubbles. He constantly wavers in his head about how he feels guilty about what he's done and everything like that. So they are 2 completely personalities. I never write for Draven, and she never writes for Seraphina. So it makes it a little bit more unique than some stories.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I've not heard of that like too much. But although, you know, I mean, having 2 writers isn't the norm
Right.
on most stories.
No, but even if you have 2 writers, usually they don't write one character. So I'm sure there's some out there. But and ours wasn't intentional. That's just how role playing works. So, but that's just we got lucky enough that makes the story a little bit more unique for us.
So, I mean, obviously you're a Crow fan. Was there any other comic books when you were growing up that inspired you, like any other horror based or anything really? I grew up on like Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man and
I was obsessed with Ghost Rider
Ghost
in
Rider.
the 90s. Yeah, Danny Ketch, and I like Johnny Blaze too, but my brother, who's older, liked Johnny, and then I liked Johnny when he was Spirits of Vengeance, but I fell in love with Danny. And I started around the 7th issue, and I still have them right next to me.
Is Danny the car? Was he the car?
Danny's the motorcycle.
So
yeah,
I
think
guess
I think Johnny and Danny both had motorcycles, and then I didn't read the new one. Might have had a car, but I haven't read that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think about a decade ago they brought in a car and you know
Really?
they're ever changing.
The motorcycle though.
They're ever changing. No. How did you feel about Nicolas Cage's Ghost
Rider? It was okay. It could have been better. But I do find it funny that they had to cover up his Ghost Rider tattoo to do the movie. So that was interesting. So he was obviously a big fan.
Growing up, I loved the Heart of Darkness story. It had Wolverine.
I have that.
Ghost Rider, and who was the third guy?
Johnny Blaze was probably there, but there's also there was also a crossover in Spirits of Vengeance with Spider-Man and Venom. They had a crossover, and there was even a what if Barbara Ketch became Ghost Rider instead. But I don't remember how it went. But I had it right here, so I'm going to read it after this is over.
Now I can't remember. Read it to find out.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, Ghost Rider is awesome. I mean, I always like those old covers of Ghost Rider. I collected some of those back in the 90s. You know, these would have been, you know, from earlier than that, 70s, 80s. But the covers always struck me as very interesting, you know, just because he was who he was, and they sometimes had like a circus theme for, you know, like the stuntman's theme and stuff. So I always really liked looking at the covers.
I think Johnny Blaze was the stunt man in the 70s. And Danny Ketch was just some poor sap with a motorcycle. He didn't do much that I remember. I think he just found the motorcycle like in the junkyard or something, if I remember. I don't know. All I know is Johnny Blaze came to kill him because when Johnny Blaze was him, he thought of him as a demon, whereas Danny thinks of him as a superhero. So I don't remember the comics of Johnny Blaze, but maybe he did some stuff he shouldn't have done. I don't know. Have to look that up now.
Well, they had that weird, I mean, the 70s and 80s, they like their heroes kind of with a dark side. I mean, you had Tony Iron Man, Tony Stark with his drinking and stuff like that. So they always kind of spun a darker side of their heroes, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, mine are kind of anti-heroes too, I guess.
Yeah.
No.
So about the Kickstarter, I mean, I'm just going to tell people they can just go to Kickstarter and Google. Could they Google Worthy Chaos?
The best thing is to go to Kickstarter and search Worthy Chaos, and we're the only thing that pops up. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That makes it easy.
Yeah.
So what are you trying to get done? Is it just issue 5?
Well, we released 1 through 5 together just so everyone can get things and catch up. We always have a tier for new people, so you can get either an issue 1 as a PDF or a print, or you can get a PDF for 5 or a print for 5. And then we always have all the back issues and the add-ons. We also have catch-up tiers. For this one, we have our first time we have a catch-up tier where they're all metal covers for all the past ones. So that's pretty cool. And we have a couple really cool add-ons because I'm obsessed with merch because I love merch. But so we have plushies. This is my plushie Anubis. We have handmade clay statues. We have pillows. We have gold-plated coins.
Wow.
Yeah, we have a ton of stuff. We have a really cool tier that for $99 you can be drawn in as a zombie for issue 8, and you can either stagger on or be killed in any way you please. And then not only do you get the PDF for that's included, you get it about 3 months before it's released because my artist is really fast and issue 8's not released till January. So
oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
How did you meet your artist, and who are they?
My artist is Jonas DaCosta. He's incredibly talented. This is his first paid job, so he's learning as he goes, but he's already been praised by the comic book stores and people that have read it so far. They really love the art. As for finding him, it took forever. My first artist stole $3,000 from me, and then I spent $2,000 trying to fix it. It came out okay. I released it as kind of a soft opening for Kickstarter. Like I didn't advertise. I just, family and friends. So it did pretty good. It made like 900, but I just wasn't pleased with it. But everyone told me just keep it, don't redo it. But once my artist came and did 2 and 3, I was like, you have to go back and do 1. So he went back and did 1. Yeah, but I found him. He actually found me. I posted in Facebook that I'm tired of looking for artists. I paid thousands of dollars for an artist, like trying to find them. And I was just tired. Like nobody can draw it the way I wanted it. And even the first one was just okay. So I posted the story and I said, whoever wants to do a test page, and I'll look at them and whatever. So 5 people were doing a free test page, and he comes up and says, are you taking any more submissions? And I said, well, I have 5 free test pages being done. But if you want to, you have 2 options. I can either, you can do a free one now and I'll look at it first, or you can wait until those 5 are done and I'll pay you to do one. So he did a free one and it was amazing. So I paid the other ones to go away and I hired him. So, and he's remarkable. He does incredible panel work. He's very consistent with the characters, but he's not just a paid artist. He's very into the story. He's part of the team, he likes to give suggestions and all that stuff. And it's just amazing to have somebody that loves the story as much as us. And he's kind of upset because I told him yesterday, it's too bad you can't do this spinoff. And he goes, why can't I do the spinoff? I was like, there's 45 issues here. And then we already wrote 7 issues into series 2. You're never going to get done with series with Redemption. He's like, oh, okay. So I was like, but if we ever can clone you, I would be more than happy to have you do the spinoff. So Maybe
That's
someday.
fun. Yeah, I oftentimes wish I could clone myself so I can get stuff.
I'm already lazy. I would be way worse if I did that. Like, I never leave
I
my
mean,
couch.
I'm lazy. I'm the busiest lazy person,
Me
Jeff.
too. That's what I say. I run my own business. I run my own comic,
Mhm.
and then I'm pretty busy, but I feel like I'm lazy all the time because I never want to leave the couch. So fortunately, I can write on there, so I can
I was gonna
pretend.
say, well, you just
Yeah, I'm
adapted.
super productive on that couch. So yeah.
Jeff, you got anything you want to ask Carissa or anything? Just just covering a little bit here and there.
No, I mean, I'm enjoying the conversation so far.
Jeff's just here. I just keep Jeff around.
The story's very Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Supernatural in Silent Hill and the Resident Evil world. It's like all smushed in. We have Easter eggs in every single issue from classic horror games or horror movies like Nightmare on Elm Street and the Resident Evil, of course, there's Easter eggs in there. We also have a contest. So we release every other month. So we're released today. And then we release again then issue 6, which has already been done drawing. That gets released August 15th. And then issue 7 and the graphic novel of the first 7 will be released in October 3rd. And whoever finds all the Easter eggs when the graphic novel is released, we have a contest that they get one of the 6-inch 3D statues. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's hard for me not to tell people what the Easter eggs are because I'm like, there's Easter eggs. They're like, where? Is like the only one I tell everyone is the first one is an alligator in the sewer, and they all miss it. So I probably shouldn't have told everyone that, but that is the first one.
You just helped everybody out.
Yeah.
So
everyone's writing it down as they go. Yeah.
Since you're a Resident Evil fan, are there dogs jumping through windows or no?
There are some dogs in a little bit later episode issues. The first 7 issues are Silent Hill kind of. The 2 characters are in a town that's merging with hell, and they're trying to get out of the town while their 2 fathers, an angel and a demon, are trying to get the angelic weapon from her that she was made out of. And if they can get it, they can tip the scales towards the war towards heaven or hell. Our 2 characters don't know yet that they're demon and angel descendants. We know because we're watching the fathers like kind of screw with their lives, which is like most lives. You don't know who's screwing with you. But the Seraphina's father, Remnal, controls Anubis with the remote control, and he tries to go after her. And Draven's demon father goes after them with hellhounds. So they're kind of working together, but for separate. They want they're trying to overpower each other, but they get along more than they probably should. So I actually find that really entertaining for myself. But it's kind of cool to see these 2 people being pawns where we kind of screw their characters and torture them, and it's very action packed. Like I think the first issue has demons, angels, hellhounds, ghosts, zombies, zombie merman, and it's like a skeleton coming out of the wall. And then for 2, we have all of them and Anubis. So and
well,
people
you packed everything in there then.
Yeah. Well, it's called Worthy Chaos for a reason. Actually, so I've been asked why it's called that, and it's simple. Seraphina, because she's got angelic blood. Ever since she was a teenager, she attracts everything evil to her. So she causes all the chaos, and she always feels guilty about it because Draven just gets like pulled into it, and he always says you're worth it. So she's the Worthy Chaos. So
I got you. That's pretty cool. So outside of the Kickstarter campaign, which we'll put links in the show notes and everything, so people can find it with ease. Where can they find you online? Do you have a website, socials, any of that good stuff?
We do have a website. Kickstarter is better because it's the same price and you get tons of merch with it.
Sure.
But worthychaoscomics.com. We do have a newsletter. And if they sign up for it, then we had a song that was written and performed, and the lyrics are based on our characters. And if they sign up for the newsletter, we actually send them the downloaded song for free. You can also get it on Kickstarter as an add-on for like $4, I think. You could find me on Twitter at worthy_chaos. We have about 5,000 followers.
Wow.
And on Facebook, I just started a group about 2-3 weeks ago. We only have about 500 followers, but it's kind of cool. You can see pages before people. You can see covers that we're working on. You can vote on stuff, and you can see rewards before anybody else. So it's kind of cool to be in there. So that all you have to do is search Worthy Chaos on Facebook and join the group.
Oh, yeah. I mean, groups are awesome on Facebook to have. They can really help get the word out and just keep people updated and stuff. So, yeah, that's awesome. Everybody should join that. And I guess that's, I'd love to have you back on
Great.
at some point to keep talking about your comic and get people more interested in it. I just really admire comic book creators, and so it's cool that you can do that and live a dream in some sort, I'm sure. But yeah, thank you, Corissa and Jeff. Thanks for just hanging out with me and keeping me grounded as always.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. And until next time, what should they do, Jeff?
They should keep it bloody.
Because that's the only thing Jeff knows how to do.